Clack.
What's going on? How's everybody doing? So, guess we had another school shooting. So, um, I'm just gonna shed a little light on how I feel about it. Mickey, you there? You gonna share your give
No,
your
go
opinion?
ahead. No, yeah, I'll help you out, but go ahead. I'm gonna be right here.
Okay. So, I don't really know how I want to start off, but what I do want to start off saying is that more recently we have seen that our leadership has been not leading us. They've been going leading more in the hearts and they've been leading more for the people that are contributing more to their foundations or to their funding, and that's not leading the constituents. That's not leading the masses. So there's a few things that I wrote down just a couple seconds ago that I thought that I would share that that's going on with the Republicans that want smaller government. All right, they want to control who votes. Everybody has a right to vote. It's in the Constitution. Everybody has a right to vote. If you're a citizen, you should have a right to vote. But yet they want to control who votes. Roe versus Wade was passed almost 50 years ago, and now they want to contest that and change the laws on that. So they want to control the women's body. Doesn't sound like smaller government to me. Um, they want to limit everyone's health care. Everybody should deserve to have free health care. We're the strongest, biggest, strongest, richest nation in the world, and we're the only country that doesn't have universal health care across the board. There is no they're trying to phase out low income housing, and then there's little to no resources for people once they go on maternity leave. It depends on how good of a job you have, which is based on education, which is based on a whole host of other things that could happen, that could keep you from, depending on where you're from. Um, but essentially, Republicans only want protection for the fetus. And I raised the question a few weeks ago. Well, if they want to protect the fetus, should it only be right that they start collecting child support once at conception? Does that make sense? I don't know, Mick. I'm asking you that. Does that make sense?
Uh, well, you said what they should be paying child support at the fetus, right?
I mean, I don't agree with that, but I'm saying if what their argument is that all people should have rights, and starting at conception, which is a fetus. So
Right.
only then, shouldn't it only be right that child support start being collected at conception?
I mean, to be honest with you, that Roe versus Wade, I feel like, man, they should let women say what they want to do, man. I mean,
I do too.
I understand it's laws, whatever, but I mean, until you actually, I don't know. Like I would say, you don't pay it till the baby get here,
Of course,
because
I agree with that too.
because that's when that's if that's if the woman have she don't have no job, she get no A. I'm pretty sure that is they giving something for her while she pregnant. I don't know. You know what I'm
I
saying?
believe. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything incorrect, but I believe so. I believe they can get on WIC, um,
Okay,
before
yeah.
while they're pregnant. I believe so.
I mean, I say leave it alone because I don't, I ain't did enough studying on it. But I mean,
Right?
like I
No,
said,
no. But I just think that if what the Supreme Court is doing now, trying to overturn Roe versus Wade, and then a whole host of other things come with that, contraception, and and then once they start dapping into that, then it can, who knows where the rabbit hole might end up. So that was just one of the things that I thought about that more recently than not has come up in the news that we dealing with, when there's more important things that we need to be dealing with, like people shooting up schools, or people shooting up churches, or people shooting up grocery stores, or things of that nature. When people, there's a lot more things that could be discussed, or brought onto the House or the Senate floor than women's bodies and who they potentially may have a child by.
how
You
you
know,
doing, good brother Chris Caleb been tuned in with us, man. I was gonna say, I say still leave it up to, you know what I'm saying. She said at conception you don't pay, you don't know who the child is. Okay, it is okay. You don't know
right? And even
whose
then,
child it is.
did he say whose child it is?
Yeah, it said, well, you don't. Yeah, what child it is, at conception, you don't know who child it is.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Terrence, really gun violence. I'm just reading in the chat.
Can I see the chats? Is there a way I can see them?
Is unless you're gonna have to put it on something on your phone. I'm just saying it because I'm back here. You ain't
Oh, okay.
you can't see it how you tuned in.
No, I don't see any chats,
Uh,
but I can go on Facebook real quick, right?
yeah, yeah, you can hit the chat. I don't know why they letting you see. Ain't no one on your screen where you can see the chat where it say anything about the chat.
Mm-mm.
You should be able to scroll down where it let you see where the chat at or something. Oh, the topics, Terrence, is gun violence. We finna talk about the gun violence was going on.
Okay, yeah. So, well, so I might.
Matter of fact, I'll show you what it is. You can see it
I
this
can
way.
see. I can see him right now. I'm on. I can see him.
I just highlighted. See,
Okay. So
and this Chris Caleb, this what it is.
you're right, Chris. That was just I guess an analogy. I guess a point that was brought up. Um, you know that's what the craziness is going on when there could be other things discussed. But um, so we had a school shooting, right? And this kid was 18 years old. He just turned 18, and he bought two AR-15s on his 18th birthday, or right around it, on or around his 18th birthday. So
Answer this question for me before we go any further. And this is in Texas, so we're gonna send our prayer. What city was that in Texas?
Uvalde,
Yeah,
Uvalde,
we're gonna send our you know prayers out there and blessings to the and they try in their
everybody in
time of
Texas.
into their time of tragedy. But what I was gonna say is you know how they put it out here and said he was teased because he was poor. How do you have money to go buy two AR-15s if you poor?
And they said 350 rounds. So especially now when I own an AR-15 and I ain't buying no rounds right now. I'm just not shooting. I'm not going to the range. I want to save what I got. But a kid that's 18 years old that worked at a fast food restaurant that dropped out of high school. Not saying that none of these things are capable. He's not capable of doing any of these things. That these things are saving money, anything like that. But what? How does that not raise a red flag right there? How does that not go into somebody's database somewhere? And of course, I know there's always Texas is a gun state. It always has been. It always will be. But you're right, Terrence. You can't. He ain't even voted yet. He just turned 18 last week, and he already out here killing folks, buying guns. What's up, Shardy? So the point is, I'm a gun owner, and I own an AR-15. It's actually sitting right here next to me. But I got a pistol sitting right around here too. But when I think so too, Terrence. But at the end of the day, I had to wait 11 days for a background check. You know what I mean? I had to wait 11 days for a background check to come back, where I was able to purchase, my last two weapons. And my first one, I waited like 8 days. And of course, it made me upset because you have to pay for them first before they run the background check. But at the end of the day, I ain't got nothing in my background that would prevent me to from buying a firearm. So, you know, I don't understand what's up about having to do universal background checks in order to buy, especially an AR-15, especially a rifle or an assault pistol, a rifle pistol or whatever they call it.
Well, answer this question for me. Do you really need them type of weapons on the streets of America?
No,
I get it that it ain't nothing wrong because if it's out there, you're supposed to be able to grab it. But do you think in the United States you need them type of weapons that are you to be used in the war on war fields?
no, you don't. There's no way. You don't need it. I don't need it. I don't have beef with anybody, but I got it just because it's
And I
sitting right here. You would
understand
think
that.
you would think the way it's sitting right here next to me, like I had beef with everybody, but it's just no, it's mine. I bought it just because it's my constitutional right. I pay my taxes. I do everything I'm supposed to do. So why not? If something goes down, I'd rather have it than not.
Okay, I see what Chris Caleb said. He said it should be ashamed of himself for doing this. In Texas, the pale faces giving their boys guns at 7 years old and pocket knives. and I do agree with that. Like that what they doing. I mean, I think the temperament is okay. That's what Terrence said. I think the temperament, man. You shouldn't have guns. If you ain't got the temperament, just say you get into a fight, person lose, they get mad. First thing they do is go grab their gun. Now you done did some premeditated stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't hear us.
But how do you judge somebody's temperament? How do you see? I think one of the biggest things is you can't go into somebody's medical history that because that's a HIPAA violation. Unless you're a doctor or something like that. So you can't just be spreading around people's medical records and going into people's background. So how do you judge somebody that has a mental illness and they're not they out here purchasing weapons? How do you do that without violating their rights? How do you do that? I think that's one of the biggest things is how do you figure out if somebody's mentally capable of owning or of you know possessing a firearm without violating their rights.
Right. Yeah, I get it. It's part of the First Amendment. But yeah, I mean the right to bear arms, but man, you do not need them type of guns, man, up in here. And it's
No,
just the mind state. You know what I'm
no, you're
saying?
right.
It's the mind state of the people, man. You getting out here right now. You got a community, a nation. There's people that's on all type of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want? I'm talking about pills and everything. So all
Mm-hmm.
type of drugs, and you want them? You trust them with guns?
No, no, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I think that's the gift and the curse because if you open it up to everybody, then everybody means people that's on drugs and crazy people and people that's mentally ill and people that got beef and people that's whatever. Little nerdy dudes that they got bullied in high school and want to get revenge on everybody and who knows. But I don't see what the problem is. You know why you don't want somebody to have a background check. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the issue is. I think me personally, I think if you can pass a background check, if you should have like just like I believe that there's certain different background checks that you have to pass if you want to buy a suppressor or a silencer for your firearm. There's certain background checks and certain clearances that you have to pass in order to be able to purchase certain you know you know um like night vision goggles, I think, and body armor and stuff like that. Uh, I don't understand what the issue is with having to pass a basic background check. Makes no sense to me. Like it
Eh,
should be
eh,
simple.
and I agree with Terrence Sales on this when he said they should have to go to a mental evaluation too. They should. They should be having to check a mental state. They letting some and anybody get guns. And you know who shouldn't have no gun. You
No,
gotta
no, no,
have the
no. It ain't
temperament.
some of anybody in Texas. I believe anybody. Excuse me. I don't think summer is in front of anybody. I think in Texas, anybody can. Once you turn 18, it's like I think a couple years back, a year or two back, Texas governor signed that law saying that once you turn 18, you can openly carry. Anybody can walk around with like a policeman out there with a pistol.
Yeah, I think that was a trick bag though. When they did open carry, where anybody can have it, because they already know the temperament of here. You know what I'm saying? So they know people with. I think it was like as Terrence would say, "Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe." I think when they put more guns on the street, they know what's gonna happen.
Well, see, these are Republican states, though. Tennessee got laws like that. That's why everybody in Memphis walking around with Dracos and everything else. Indiana's like that. Republican states. You can just anybody can just go and buy a firearm. And I think it was Mike Pence when he was governor of Indiana that said, that said that made the quote that if the bad guys can go out and get guns, why can't the good guys have guns or something along those lines. And in a way, I kind of believe it. Like we live in Flint. Anything can happen here. And I'm not saying that I'm out, I'm got my gun to go hunting for anybody or I got, I'm spinning the block or whatever. But if something happens, I'm not about to be standing out there with, with a kitchen knife.
No, I get it because the times is everybody should have it because it's the right to bear arms.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what Terrence said. Yeah, no, but when you putting them guns out here, but we our worst enemies. You supposed to be able to have conflict resolution, man. People supposed to be able to sit down and have a conversation. You ain't killed nobody, mama, or killed their cousin, sister, brother, family member, or did something out of the way. Take them carry the law. a long gun like a rifle or any age. Now I get it on some of these laws, but I just feel like that you don't need that many guns. Ain't every other country ain't got all these guns like that, man.
Hey, no, no, they don't. They don't. But in Texas is the same state that you used to have. You used to see the dudes driving around with the guns in the window, in the trucks with the gun racks in the windows. You know what I mean? And we used to ride down there to see grandma. And you see all these hillbillies with the tech with the with the gun racks with the rifles and shotguns in the rear view in the back window. That was crazy. But I remember that. That's Texas, man. Like Texas is guns. They always gonna be guns.
Yeah. I mean, I could believe you got listen, man. You got to have something to keep a person. If you didn't have it, the bad guys that have it. But somehow the bad guys shouldn't be having getting been able to get just as the good guys. It shouldn't be that many guns around here. How can they have this? Is these boys got just as much artillery as the police got?
No, they got more.
See what I'm saying?
They got more. Now, here's the thing: they got these things that you can do to the Constitution called amendments. The reason why they make amendments is because they know that things would change. Just like back when they made the Constitution, they didn't have refrigerators nor grocery stores, and they didn't have Uber Eats, and they didn't have Applebee's, so they had to go out and hunt for their dinner. That's why guns were so prevalent. They had to defend
Right.
their lives. They had to defend their lives against the land that they was taking from the indigenous Native Americans. You know what I mean? So they had to have guns, and they had to walk around with guns, and and you stealing somebody's house, you gotta be strapped. So that's why guns were so prevalent back then. But now we don't have to have guns like that. Now I might be hypocritical because I'm sitting right here with my AR right here. You know what I mean? But we don't have to worry about going to hunt for our dinner, and we don't have to worry about going to fish every day. We can go right down to Whole Foods or Walmart or wherever you want to go shopping at and pick up dinner. You can order a pizza. You can go to Burger King. That's why there should be the law should be amended. Yes, we need our right to bear arms, but do we need do we need some type of deterrent from people to go out here and being able to get a bazooka or whatever? Yes.
Yeah. Do you need it? But I'm saying, do you need them semi-automatics fully? I mean, but I'm gonna tell you something. Nah, them white boys, they got them ones, and they got fully automatic guns. They got shit to go to war with. Like they
That's
know
why I
something
got
that's
mine.
going, like they know something that's going down. But
Hmm.
back to the school shooting. What I don't understand. Now I saw some video earlier when they were showing the parents. The police was out there. They didn't let they didn't go while I guess the shooter allegedly the shooter was in there shooting. Why was the police holding the parents back and wasn't going up there? They just sat around.
Well, the police got us. So I'm not now. No, don't take what I'm about to say because that pissed me off. I'm sitting here watching it, and you can, the people act like you could almost hear the gunshots going off because the man went in the classroom, barricaded himself, and just went crazy in the classroom, started shooting everybody in the classroom. So of course, the classrooms probably wasn't made out of concrete or whatnot. They was, I don't know what they called them, but um, not sheetrock or whatever that is. So the bullets, I know that there was reports of bullets flying through the walls. So if he killed up 19 kids and two adults, that's. But my thing is, when I saw the police, they had helmets and flak jackets and AR-15s, and it was three or four or five and six and eight of them. It's one of him in the classroom. It's got to be multiple entrances and exits into that school. Somebody need to be, 40 minutes inside a school with second and third and fourth graders, and you got an AR-15. That's like I don't even know how you could sit around and not run in there. And police officers that they got all these they got their bat belts with the mace and the bat and the taser and the pistol and the handcuffs, and they got everything on their belt. Yet they scared when it's time to be a cop. If the man hadn't been armed, then it would have been a different story. They'd have ran up in there quick. As soon as it's
This
time
my
for go
Not to
ahead.
cut you off. This my thing. The school doors wouldn't lock. I know here you have to get buzzed in. I'm just saying. I don't know. Do they have school doors locked, or is they school you could just walk in? Did they have a security on school, or they don't have security at all school? They just have it on certain schools.
Now here's the deal. They had an armed worker in the school, and they also had different type of scenario. in the school they had practiced different scenarios, like school shooter scenarios and stuff like that. Like they had all those, they had followed all the protocols and everything like that. But I guess who knows when somebody run up in the school with an AR-15, it's hard to keep. It's almost impossible. It's impossible to keep kids from yelling and screaming when it's just when they pull the fire alarm. Let alone when somebody run in the classroom, with a gun and he just shooting. So how you gonna implement a school shooter with kids?
But
You know.
I think them laws they got anyway, far as with the kid, this is an example that they need to upgrade what they got going on at these schools. Cause I worked in a school and what they tell you to do, just lock your door. Man, them school doors, them classroom doors is not that strong, man. All you doing is putting kids into a death trap anyway. My thing is, if you got cameras, they was supposed to be able to see. Shouldn't nobody be able to come on campus and you not seeing that they coming?
Well,
First of all,
that's our reality, and I'm not saying that it's that what you're saying is wrong, but that's our reality. That's Flint. They live in this little country town with less than 20,000 people, so this type of thing is isn't common around in them parts. And like I said, they did have somebody that was in the school with a gun, and they did have safety protocols that they had practiced. But when it's actually time to implement those practices, and you got somebody that's in the classroom with an AR-15 and a pistol or two. Well, I think he dropped one of his guns on the outside of his truck. But you got an AR-15 in a book bag full of ammunition. It ain't what can you do?
to, I ain't trying to be on my I ain't trying to be on my what's the name, but I'm finna go off into my conspiracy theorist mode. This is not Brother Clack who is thinking like this. This just is me. I'm just trying to figure out how somebody shoot to kill their granny. But I mean, he snapped. He went to this school. Of any places he wanted to go to, he just went to a school. Ran up in there. He said, "Okay, Juve
But
is
but
most
he
likely."
said that he was going to do it though. They were reading his social media, and he said that he was going to he was going to shoot up a school though, elementary school.
What, that, well,
But then
I'm just saying, man. To me, it's just like four parts. Listen, dude. I'm just call me my conspiracy theorist. I watched the Manchurian Candidate when Denzel. I'm saying I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying, but for to make somebody snap, this America. You can't say you can't check the temperatures, man. The temperature of the country is violence going all the way around. My thing is I don't want it to be you pray not to see no copycat type shit going on.
yeah,
This one incident, then we having another one.
the thing is, I don't understand why, we had when we was growing up, we had Columbine, and all these different school shootings, you know, um, and they ain't, we still doing the same thing. School shootings to police brutality to police killings to, all type of crazy stuff. We still talking about the same thing, and we still elected the same people, man.
Yeah, I know, cause I mean, with the guns, you're not gonna take that away. America gonna fight you tooth and nail. The
Of
gun
course.
lobby, I mean, the NRA is one of they got a lobbying game so unmatchable to some other ones. But I'm saying you not because you got the right to defend yourself. It's just to me, it seems like these things is happening so more now that if they letting these things happen for they can come with a stricter gun law. You know what I'm saying? That's what my conspiracy theories coming in that we let the combine, like you said, they already had trained for that. They must have didn't train for it because look what happened when it started.
I just think that the right people, the wrong people have been, taking the right amount of money from the right organizations and to keep them in the power, because I don't understand how these same things can keep happening though. I mean, I don't want to keep saying I don't understand. I do understand because they keep happening, but I don't understand why people don't get pissed off enough to go out and just say, I'm tired of this. I'm tired. We need to put some people in here to give a shit about what's going on. Excuse me for cussing, but it's like, I'm. What if that was somebody in Flint? What if that was our kids?
Oh, we don't need that, brother. We got enough. We trying to get through the Legion, the water crisis with the Legionnaires.
That's
Now we
that's
got
that's what
COVID. I mean, we got COVID. Flint got so bad, school system, water not clean. You know what I'm saying? American DNA is passed down through the generation to another generation, and it's violence is in the DNA.
of course it is.
No, I just feel like we as a people, as a country, we desensitized to it. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's another shooting that happened. Oh well. That's why I'm glad you said you wanted to talk about it because you need to keep this out. And don't get me wrong, I understand that it was a Latino community, but hell, the way the black and brown community is getting did, including the poor whites, man, listen, we in trouble.
It's that's why I think that's the banana in the tailpipe. I think it's still a race thing. You know, it is a race thing, but only a race thing to us. It's not a race thing. It's a have and have not. It's a green. It's a pockets empty and pockets full thing. If you got the money to pay, money to play, then you got the money to play. If you don't, we don't give a damn about you.
But this where the right it comes back to the fix the water before we go through any of this country bit. Now, I understand that, but Terrence, you have to talk about the racism because this is why the water not fixed here. If this was a predominantly white city, and I say it again, Flint water would have been fixed. This is not a
Hmm.
predominantly white city, so you getting what you get, and
Of
and,
course,
and this and this why it show you that what you saying right now when we saying you gotta go through American history because like you say with the money black bro. When you talk about the money, yeah, but look what. Just say you a billionaire. The racism still kick in because this person in this country was Oprah billionaire couldn't even buy her crib in Malibu. What maybe about what was that 10 years ago when that stuff happened? She
hmm
couldn't buy you know what I'm saying. And in certain areas we can't move in, but we accept everybody in our areas.
no, yeah.
We accept everybody in our areas, but we can't move into everybody. This is like copycat. Not Chris Caleb is right. To me, it is. It's like when is it gonna stop? Okay, now they did a grocery store. Now they done did a school. What's the next thing they finna go for?
They didn't. They started with churches. You know, they did the church. Then
Yep,
they
yep.
did.
The church.
Yeah, they actually welcomed that man in the church and prayed with him. You know what I mean? And he came back and killed them all.
But that show you how foolish we is as a people. Because every other race not gonna let you just come in like that and gonna welcome you in. See, that's what supposed to be. You got to be on point. You don't invite everybody to your crib. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what. Yeah, Terrence, you right about that. If it happened in Grand Blanc, yeah, they would have fixed it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the racism and not to say that. And I'll go back to this. You know what I'm saying? Not to go off in the school thing, man. But we America right now is in the. To me, she at the crossroads. Either you gonna do right, oh, this thing finna go off the wheels. Because what you just finna have more lawlessness going on. They fighting
Man,
for gun change.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
uh, man, I think it's got to start. I think we got to start doing our own thing. Not saying we need to go off and do our own thing as black people, but we can't keep on depending on somebody to come in here and save us, man. We got to start doing it ourselves. Like I can't, you know, I feel I can't push off my morals on somebody else. So you can't tell somebody that they wrong for parenting the way that they parent their child, even though you might disagree with everything that they doing. You can't really tell somebody you can't do that unless they are neglecting their kids. You know what I mean? And I think that it's got to start at home. It's got to start from Mama Bear and Papa Bear. You know what I mean? And if they're not getting good examples, if they're not getting a sound, stable home life, then who knows what type of stuff that they're gonna go for what they know out in the streets. So that's where we get to. Then when you get to the streets, some people go to school to get away from their home life. Well, when you go look at our schools, we got these charter schools and we got these public schools that don't really have a lot of resources and don't really have a whole lot of programs. They just took away the 21st century program. So, we ain't got that after school programs in the public schools no more. So it's certain things that we don't even have, we're not exposed to. And then the things that we got is so minimal. We don't have the outlets and the resources like we would if we grew up in a place like a Troy, Michigan, or a Farmington Hills, or even a Grand Blanc. You know what I mean? So you know, the mentality, the resources, the background, the everything plays a part. We just and then we don't vote, so we don't put people in in power to represent us to make things change. We put people in people in power that we think you know.
No, I'm gonna give you a little pushback. And what it do, good brother Derek Smart? He said Derek Smart said, I'm gonna put it up here for you can read it. He
All right.
said we should have let the Brady bill expire when I mean, when expired when W. Bush became president back then. It was over. I agree with you with that. Not that I'm hip to that Brady bill.
So the Brady Bill was what the that was machine guns. Was that one?
I'm gonna wait till he respond back up here. Chris Caleb said we need our own school security and grocery. And I'll say this, and this is what I wanted to say before I get off track. How much voting do how much voting do the Asians do? They don't vote like that, man, and they get a lot of stuff because they do their own. See, a
Well,
lot of these,
well, see, they don't. They may not vote. They may or may not, but they
but they
might
get
contribute
bills
financially.
passed.
They right. They might contribute financially in other ways. We don't even we have representatives that don't even do well, that's everybody, not just black folks. That's all of them. They don't really care about what their constituents say. They care about who paying the most. So that's just not Flint. That's everybody because Mitch McConnell. Most of his constituents is rural. He got more cows than people in his area. So it's just they doing what's best for their own financial gain, and everybody else in the country is suffering while everybody in those up in those positions are fattening their pockets. And now it's so blatant that we all can see it.
But yeah, but what I'm saying, but when you seeing the deterioration of your school system,
Hmm.
look at the schools. These schools ain't really sending these kids out better, man, to be better students, depending on what area you in.
No, 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 they're not. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you have, like, that's the thing. When you trying to, I'm not even saying that this in. I haven't read the book, The Art of War. I've not, so I'm not going to try to quote anything like that. But I'm just saying, if you're trying to destroy a society, you got to destroy everything, the resources, the water, the education system. You got to, I mean, like everything, the politics. Everything is, everything is when you look at us from all different aspects, we don't have very many positives. We got more negatives than positives. So this could be, a society's experiment. You know what I'm saying? We got people that could be planted here to do nothing but wreak havoc on the city and the citizens.
And that goes back to the COINTELPRO. I remember watching one of the minister, one of his one of his tapes when he was this was back in like the early 2000s. It might have been '02 or something. I remember watching it when he was talking about when they ended the war in what was it, World War II,
Uh huh.
when the Black Panthers then when they had to bring their agents back over and they put them in a different black organizations, like you say, to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the gangbangers, you
Yeah,
had
that
them.
was Hoover, J.
Yeah,
Edgar
cause
Hoover.
yeah, the COINTELPRO. Cause I was
Mm-hmm.
cause I be watching them different. I'm gonna give them a plug. The Kev Mack videos, and they was talking about the gangbanging in Los Angeles. I was saying how the Crips and Bloods started. Man, they started really. They was protecting their neighborhoods from the white gangs. When the blacks moved out there, they was getting basically terrorized. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just be honest. That's what blacks was going through. They was getting terrorized in them days. When you couldn't, they had times where at nighttime, if you was black, you couldn't be out,
Right.
or you been and got lynched. So that's how they started it. But then somehow it went from they turned on each other. And then I was listening to some of them like Tyrone Tate, who started the Jordan Down Crips. Like he said, they would have the police would be dressing up like they was Bloods, come over there, do some shooting over in
Mm-hmm.
their neighborhood, and they got to go back and do this and that. It's like then they put people up in it. Black when we back when we was watching Well, I know you seen that Black Panther movie, the one they call themselves doing.
Of
But
course.
he, yeah, when you see how they had the agent, but was old dude from a different world, the one who he was like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That stuff go on. And my only thing with the hood, I think we need to change that, brother Terrence. If you still here, and I'm gonna catch you in Rich Jones' interview later. We gotta change that from the hood. See that mentality, that hood mentality. When we saying that, we really gotta change it and go back to communities and neighborhoods.
Well, yeah, and as much as people gonna give me slack about what I'm about to say,
Come
I
on with it.
believe what I'm about to say. It all started. I mean, if you look at how we all have been fantasized with gangster movies, right? Like even from the Capones to the Bonnie and Clydes, like we all been, crazy about gangster movies. But if you look at how gangsters have evolved, because they used to wear suits, you know what I'm saying? Even the black gangsters used to wear suits. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when over time when you introduced it was first it started with rock and roll, then it moved on to hip hop, and then it went to drill, trap music, and there's drill music. And if you think, well, how do we go from whatever to whatever, Thug Life played a part in it because it was, I know everybody gonna be like, well, Tupac, Tupac, Tupac. Well, yeah, we weren't thugs until, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't cool to be a thug until everybody took I got my Thug Life tatted on my chest. Then, I think what you put out into the atmosphere is what you get back. So if you spewing negativity out every day, all day, and go ahead.
No, I get what I get what Terrence said. He said ain't nothing wrong with shortening the neighborhood for the hood. No, I get what you saying on that too. I get it. Like I say, because listen, we always just use abbreviation on different things. But I think if we brought back in community and we brought back in the family, ain't nothing wrong with it. But I just back to like what you were saying about Fires Tupac when he was saying the thug, but you have to really understand what it stood for. Like
Yeah,
we
but
had but Mike, we had we had some balance. Yeah, Parker wasn't a gangster. He'll tell you that.
yeah,
But
no, of course he wasn't. But the people that were listening, the gangsters was listening to Pac. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He
but
might not have been a gangster, but the gangsters was listening to him.
no, but I think what it was, see, but Pac gave you a balance. He'll give you this, but he'll give you Brenda got a baby, or you wonder why they called you a bitch. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? He would give you different things. See, like I'm a little older than you, but as you was growing up, when you had Run DMC, to me it was like NWA was really our first taste of gangster rap.
right,
The way they brought
right.
it different than like what Cool G rapped. And when you listen to Cool G rap, all right, good looking brother Terrence. But Cool G Rap, when they was talking, like you said, they came off with that gangster, like the Italians. When NWA brought it, it was bringing it to what we was accustomed to, where they
Right.
was
What you
talking
saw when
about
you was
jumping.
outside. Yeah.
They was bringing really with the hood rap pack, and we do, you know what I'm saying? They was really bringing the rawness, but you still had a balance because you had De La Soul in them. They
Hmm.
can't, you know what I'm saying? It was
Of
like
course.
you had poor righteous teachers.
Hmm.
You had, you know what I'm saying? You had a balance of it. You had Public Enemy. Then it's like the balance got shifted. It went from just straight gangster rap. And all the gangster rappers, man, you had some that had they was lessons up in there, man. You can't just say some of them was talking about killing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of
Well,
them, now go
my
ahead.
bad. See, I think what happened was the record company started realizing that they could get paid off of, you know what I'm saying, off of gangster music and killing and drinking the optics of drinking 40s and big booty bitches and you know what I'm saying, shooting guns out the window and all that type of stuff. So that stuff that they got more publicity than. That's why Common don't, he ain't gonna never go platinum, or J. Cole or people like that, that will go out here and rather have your kid read a book than go out have your kid standing on the corner selling dope, or thinking it's cool, riding around with AKs or whatnot. I don't really think that's why I said I always um that you know what, and that's why he got killed. He was trying to
And
turn people just like Martin Luther King, just just like Malcolm X. Once they flip their script and start telling people to do something else, go against the grain and start doing something else, they got to get taken out the game. So I wasn't trying to blame Tupac on everything. I'm just saying like
I know you was on some brother. What you said, they seen the debauchery. Don't get me wrong, because I liked the Two Live Crew when I was coming up with
I did
Luke.
too, but I couldn't
They,
listen to it at the
yeah,
crib.
Yeah, I couldn't either. We'd be sneaking out, go over my granny house. We'd be in the backyard listening to. I'll be with
Mm-hmm.
my older cousins. Them up at Forest Park before it was Max Brandon. I go back to the Forest Park
Forest
days.
Park, that's what it
And
is.
yeah, when they would be having all the little hoop during the summertime, they would be hooping. But that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, man. How did it get so bad? Don't get me wrong. Blacks always, it was neighborhood things. I think, like you said, with the because if you go watch Ice Cube was having lyrics up in there when he
Mm-hmm.
said, you know what I'm saying. It was messages in that, but I think what they found was gang violence. Say America love violence. I think they seen that sell better. Cause just think about it now, and I am with what the brother Terrence said. He said Ice Cube tried to warn us 25 years ago. Just peep this out. Remember when the Fresh Prince was winning Grammy awards?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when MC Hammer was winning Grammy awards?
Mm-hmm.
Gangsta rappers couldn't win them,
Nah.
but now the debauchery is winning them. and and the people that's rapping like the J Cole and like you said, it's
Hey,
hard for them.
they can't even get no spins. They can't get no play. They'll be lucky to get in at at Club 69. Somebody and they'll be lucky because don't nobody want to see that. Listen to
Yeah,
that when they get in the lap dance. So you know, but I wanted to piggyback on you while you said that there was a balance. You know what I mean? There was definitely a balance in all type of media, and I'm talking about radio. I'm talking about
hmm
TV because we had there was we did have the gangster music. We had I don't know if you said you older than me. I remember Brother Lynch hung. You know what I'm saying? You remember Brother Lynch and some of the stuff he used to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And
from let me tell you, yeah, because he from Sacramento. Him and Sebo.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
love the
Sebo,
West
yeah,
Coast. Yeah, see, you don't know
yeah,
about it's Sacramento, but they call it
yeah,
Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I got cousins out there in the Bay
Yeah,
Area.
so I learned about them my freshman year of college when I was at Texas Southern University. And one of my roommates was he was from out there, and so I'm like, bro, don't nobody like that West Coast music. That's janky. Don't nobody want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, put that No Limit on. You know what I'm saying? Put some of that on. So, but I wanted to piggyback
Go ahead.
I wanted to piggyback on that because yeah, we had our rap music, we had our gangster music. We was being introduced to our gangster music and our gangster movies because we started with Colors and then it was Menace and then Boys in the Hood and we going from there. But we also had positive TV shows. We had what was the
The
Steve Urkel
Cosby.
show, the
Had the
Cosby's.
Cosby.
You know what I'm saying? And
Different
Cosby showed you
World.
a different world. And what that showed
Martin.
you was, yeah. And so what that showed you was, with the Cosby's, what that showed you was the example of a black nuclear family with the mom, the dad, the head of the household. You had the mother, then you had the kids, you had the grandparents that came over every now and then. If you had the older ones that came in, and they had the grandkids, and that's when what's the little light skinned one? I forget her name, but they was the grandkids. So you saw what a nuclear family looks like, how it's supposed to look, how you supposed to graduate from high school, go to college, and that's what society tells you is to get married, have kids, get a job, career, live happily ever after. All right. So then you went from the Cosby Show. The next show that came on was a different world. You know what I'm saying? That showed you what life was after you leave your parents and you go off to college and you go to HBCU and they showed them studying and it showed them going to parties and it showed them having relationships and loving and breaking up and all that type of stuff. And then if you look at it 20 years later, we no longer have that balance. We have every show, and don't take what I'm about to say as wrong because I don't want. I'm not, and I'm in no way. I'm not talking to you, Nick. I'm talking to everybody that's listening. But in no way am I homophobic or anything like that. But what they have now, there's a gay black man in every show. There's a kid that has a problem in every show. You know what I mean? Whether he's a come from a broken home, or he's a runaway, or something is going on. To make it look more like it's a real a real life situation. But what it does is desensitize the black male's role as the head of the household. You know what I mean? So we don't have that balance anymore. It's drill music, and then you want to find something that's not drill music. Because going to spin the block on somebody, you look on TV and it's girl. This is two men dressed up like a women. Like women. You know what I mean? So we don't hardly have that whole. Oh man, Terrence. Let's not get on.
You want to go there because I was going to address it real quick,
We can,
but
man, because
let me give me my take. but go and finish your thought, and we what you was finna say, and we'll take on that one.
I just think that the black male's masculinity role is slowly but surely trying to be taken away because, and this is just me, I'm nobody, I don't want to say I'm nobody, but I think that we got all these laws and things changing because the white man feels like he's losing his role at the top of the hierarchy of society. So he's changing laws, and he's changing laws and changing things and cheating and doing everything just so he can keep power in the role. And he realized once Obama, a black man, became president, it's like, oh shit, like this ain't just our shit no more. You know what I mean? Then a black woman became vice president. He really got scared. You know what I mean? Because just look at how the white man did Hillary Clinton. That's a white woman, and they did everything in their power to keep that woman from getting into power. You know what I mean? So I just think that
Did you forget? You act like they did that was something wrong that they did. Did you know they didn't even want their mama to vote? They had to go back for their mama to vote.
of course.
The woman that birthed them, breastfed them, changed
Hmm.
their diaper, gave them love.
Hmm.
Then when them suckers got 18, they wouldn't even vote. When they was able to vote, they wouldn't even vote for their mama to vote. Them jokers was clowns.
Yeah.
Now to go back to Terrence's question, what you think about Nick Saban? Let me hit this part and you can go take it off from here. Now, I watched several shows what they did. Now we got to put it in context. Even though he was shooting it at Dion, what he was really saying, he was talking to his boosters. You know when
That's
they say
facts. Yeah.
you got to watch what you're doing. He was talking to his boosters, trying to tell them we need money. I need more money.
Hmm.
But at the same token, he was mad because he saw HBCU take a kid. See what Nick Saban is, he done seen something, but I don't think it'll probably happen in me and your lifetime. It might be our kids' lifetime or something, like how it was before. When you would see our kids, our own would start going to our own colleges,
Hmm.
back to the HBCU. That's the thing, because what you got to ask, and I had to look at it because right now it's the money game. Nick Saban mad that other schools gonna be able to catch up and be able to buy players now. When
Well, what
Alabama was already getting them.
we'll see. What the I think the really mad at is it starts with Travis Hunter. It
Mm-hmm.
starts with Travis Hunter. Have you seen that kid play?
A, a dog, I love college
Yeah,
football.
I've been following him since his junior year. Like this kid is he gonna play on both sides of the ball. He gonna play offense and defense. I watched the spring game. He got two touchdowns and an interception in the first quarter. As a freshman, most freshmen won't even play. Me, I'm one of them.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So you know what I mean. So it's just for him. I don't know if you've ever been to an HBCU football game, but for years upon years upon years upon years upon years upon years upon years, the highlight of the game was not the football game.
I'm finna stop you. I went to the Battle of the Bands, Joker. I
I was
went
about
back
to
in the
say,
day.
yeah, yeah, I was about to
Alcorn
say,
State. Yeah,
yeah,
listen, man. I gotta give blessed pleasures to a friend, man. Mo Clee's mother we used to go to the Battle of the Bands when they have them down, and that was the highlight. Was
of
was
course.
the band.
Now that's what I was gonna say. On years upon years upon years, the
Mm-hmm.
highlight people went to the HB. They went to see Grambling. It wasn't because Grambling had whoever the quarterback was or whoever the running back was. It was
Right,
because Grambling had one of the dopest bands. People went to go to Jackson State to go see. When they went to the Circle City Classic, they didn't care if it was Southern playing Prairie View or Tennessee
right,
State playing. They coming to see the band. Who gonna get
right,
down on who? They don't even. Most of the time, I don't even remember us going in the game once we got a certain age. You know what I mean? It was like
right.
we waiting outside. We waiting outside for the band to come outside. So now that it's gone from okay, now it's just a band attraction to now we got a game to watch and we can sell
Right.
some tickets. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just Jackson State because Tennessee State got Eddie George and Mo Williams is I believe he's the basketball coach at Jackson State. And then we got I heard that Michael Vick was looking at Norfolk State. I heard that,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? I heard that there's a wave of former black professional athletes that are going out and getting these black college jobs and showing people that it can be done. I said it I'm gonna try to find the video that I
how you
made.
feel about how you feel about this question?
Well, most HBCUs are public schools. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like they owned by anybody. They public schools. Now there are some private ones. My daughter goes to a private one, Hampton University. So I'm not sure who owns it. I know they got a president, and he was a Trump. They still got the same one. He's a Trump supporter. I don't know who owns them. You know what I mean? Like most of them are state schools. You know what I mean? But there are some private ones. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure how to answer that.
But not to get you off subject though, back to it. I see what you said. Yeah, Nick Saban hurt because what he know is not maybe now, but maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What if the Black Star don't go to Alabama? Because Skip Bayless said something real. He said, "What if the blacks quit going to Alabama? What would Nick Saban be?"
Man, now look, the number one 2 years ago, the number one basketball player in the country went to Howard. You know
Better
that.
believe it. Yeah, my
So so it's not, it's not once they start the Detroit Lions got one from Jackson State. The one of the linebackers came from Jackson State, but
yes, sir.
he was a transfer from University of Florida. So these people, once it's HBCU football game is electric because you ain't never played. I went to Southwestern and I was in the band at Southwestern, so I know what it's like to play for a band that ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? I knew what it was
No,
like when we played Northern because I remember getting in trouble dancing the Northern on the sideline. I'm supposed to be getting ready to get in the game, and I'm over here dancing the Northern playing Southern playlist, or whatever. You know what I mean? So I know what it's
right.
like. So when you go to when you feel the electricity of an HBCU football game, and it's just, it's not saying that it's all black people because there are some white people that attend. There are more now than before. But when you see, 10, 15, 20,000 people, 30, 40,000, 50,000 people, black people, everybody in there dancing to the band, everybody in there screaming and hollering, and ain't nobody tripping, ain't nobody doing none of that. That's some a different type of love that I can't even explain, and I was happy that I was able to experience that for a year while I was there before I got hurt. But I can understand why this kid chose to play at Jackson State. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I can
What's wrong with you want to be around your own?
nothing at all. But the thing is, Nick Saban can't understand this. We got this 95% rate of our players going to the NFL. What is there even a thought? They got kids on their team that's driving them new BMW i5s or whatever, the ones with the blue lights to go down the back. They got kids on Alabama to drive them. So you can't tell me that they're not paying players. He was asking the boosters for more money to pay more money to more parents to get better players
Yeah,
because
because
he
he
don't want to
saw.
lose more. Because there's another kid, a defensive lineman that's considering leaving Alabama or was getting recruited by Alabama that lives in Alabama. He's from Alabama that might go to Jackson State.
See what I'm
So
saying? That you can hit it on the nose. He looking at like, wait a minute. Now what if they start detouring here?
yeah. Or what about the other kids that just don't want to go to the school like that everybody else is going to, the popular school, the ones that wasn't going to go to Alabama, like the ones that was going to go to Clemson, or the ones that might go to Texas A&M or LSU to say, you know what, I want to go to a different HBCU. To say I'm gonna give Florida A&M a shot, or I'm gonna go over here to Tennessee State and let Eddie George coach me. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna go to Prairie View and let what's they Prairie View just got one too. They got I forget his name. They just got a black coach too from they used to be in the NFL. So you can go. That you might not got to go to Jackson State. You might can go to any one of these other schools. It's a wave. It's a thing, and they're about to try to build a bigger a power. They're about to get they're about to try to combine a couple of the conferences to make a big super conference.
For who?
For the
Oh,
HBCU.
they should have been did that.
Yeah, but
The
they didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the money that the University of Michigan gets per
Oh,
game, you know what I'm saying, or like how the payday that the Eastern Michigan get when they play a University of Michigan, the 1.2 million or the whatever they get out of that. Jackson State has their I think their budget they for their entire athletic program is like $8 or $9 million.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So just by them getting these type of athletes, they're gonna start bringing all type of revenue to the school, to Jackson, Mississippi. So it's a win for everybody. Dion only make
That's
300,000, I think.
yeah. That's why I'm so mad. Yeah, yeah. Shotty Shot's gonna be. HBCU Super Conference. That's what we needed. But this what I'm so mad about with Dr. Dre. That's why Dr. Dre didn't need to donate no 50 million to the USC college. They got a bigger hell of endowment, man. They didn't need that. Them HBCUs needed that money,
Yeah,
man.
get that money to Tougaloo, or get that money to one of them schools that ain't got a football team. You know what I'm saying? Get that money to somebody to force put it in a scholarship program, and you got to go to a spend it at a HBCU, something like that.
They should do that, but you got to also understand this too, Shotty Shah. Far as how Michigan make money, you got to understand they in the medical. They get money for damn, I can't think of what it is. As far as they medicine, you know, because they're in the AC. It's some type of thing. There. I can't remember what it is. They want Notre Dame, not Notre Dame. Nebraska kind of failed when they lost they rating or something. But they get
Okay.
money for science, you know, doing you know,
Oh
for their
yeah.
science
Okay.
department. I
Okay.
forgot the name what it is. Why they were like they only be letting certain schools get into the Big Ten, like how Rutgers got in and they football program ain't nothing like Maryland. No, but they get money from their hospital side is unbelievable.
Of course.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
A little bit
saying?
of medicine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that right there, and they philanthropy. But I feel like it should be, man. We got enough black billionaires, man, that can be donating to the HBCUs and help them, man. But our black people, once again, I do believe you, Chris Caleb, when he said Dr. J did that for protection in politics. I know we always get caught up in that where our people had to do some BS stuff, and for they saying they had to do this to help them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shotty Shot. Also, endowment is $12 billion. That part is from their medical. That's from they about their science department, far as in medicine. Yeah, man, they be like, I forgot the name, but I remember I was watching on it, brother Clack. These people be up on some, but I'm saying the black schools, the HBCU should be doing that. They should try to recruit their players back. That's
Of
crazy
course.
as hell anyway. Why not
But
have them come there?
but the thing is, when you look at it from an athlete's point of view, the athlete, like, I know me myself, I wasn't trying to, of course I knew I had to go to college, but I wasn't looking at college. I'm thinking I'm trying to go to the league. So, I never thought about going to no Texas Southern University. But when I tore my ACL, it was like, okay, well, U of M gone, Michigan State gone, Minnesota gone. I had no more offers from the big schools, so I
Right.
had to take what I could get. That's how I ended up at Texas Southern. And even then I still was like, how can I get to this combine, how can I get to this combine? I wasn't thinking about going to school per se, even though I had to. I was thinking about I'm trying to get over here and get to that level. So players would think Alabama or Jackson State, if they good enough, I'm going to Alabama. That was one of the schools I sent my ACT score to when I was in high school. You know what I mean? Like I want to go play football at Alabama. They ain't called me back, but still, you
No,
know.
I get it. Alabama was the big dog on the block, but now everybody can pay. You know what I'm saying? Like you see, Nick Saban was crying because he felt like Texas A&M spent all that money to have that number one recruiting class.
Even if they did, so what? Nick
Right.
Saban, you done had the best one for the past 15 years, bro. Like now it's time for you. Now it's time for us to see how good of a coach you are. Now you can't just rely on your great athletes. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't really showed me too much coaching out of games. He ain't had to. He had the best players, but he up 25, 30 points by halftime. That ain't coaching. That's you got the better team.
Yeah. Now when the playing field even because that don't mean just because what's his name is the head coach of Texas A&M. I
Uh,
remember I remember
uh,
his at Florida State. He got one
uh,
championship.
yeah. I
One
forget his name. Jimbo Fisher.
yeah, Jimbo got one championship. Just
With
because you
Jameis
get the best.
Winston. Doing he Jameis coach?
Yeah, that's it. He didn't win after that. They act like that's why he had Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Just because you get all on players, man, you got to be able to coach. And people keep
Hey,
thinking,
remember Appalachian State beat Michigan a couple years, about 10 years ago. Remember that?
yes, yeah, yeah. And Clack said, I mean, Chris Caleb said, what position did you play, Clack?
I played in high school. I played running back, receiver, slot. I made all my accolades at running back and free safety. In college, I played free safety and slot.
Yeah, no, that's what you. So you got, man, you have to look at it like, listen. I would be happy if it helped because now when you get one or two players go and don't, when you get one or two players drafted from the HBCUs, believe this. Dion finna have more players going from Jackson State gonna be getting looked at. Travis Hunter gonna be a first round pick in 3 years.
Travis
Don't
Hunter
do,
might go. He might go next year. Travis
that's
Hunter
what
said his mama live in a 3 bedroom house with 5 kids, so he he trying to get
you.
to the money.
This what you forgot. Not just to remind you, did you forget when a whole family moved from Hawaii to
To
Alabama?
Alabama,
So Nick Saban been paying. So
man, they
this
all been paying, man.
yeah.
They all been paying. Like I don't like. They all been paying. Like don't. He just mad now because he is fair. He just mad now because the tables are even now. It's not a uneven playing field. You ain't playing at the top of the. You ain't starting every quarter, every game up 30 points no more.
That's why I think Coach K retired.
Because you got a coach now.
Yeah, I think Coach K retired because he seen the what's the name on it. Hey, listen, bro, he seen it. Like you seen Duke been getting all them top classes. I
Hmm.
mean, Kentucky wasn't getting them top classes. You got to think, and it kind of spread it around. The playing field is a lot greater right now.
Hey,
You
hey,
about to
you,
see Duke go down.
Hey, you know who you think? I think when it was Steph Curry when he came out from Davidson that everybody said like you ain't got to go to Duke, you ain't got to go to Michigan State, you ain't got to go to you know what I'm saying like and
Yeah,
even athletes understand that most of them understand it. Like, hey, I'm just trying to get some free education, man. I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm trying to get up out this hood, whatever they do, and they take the scholarship and now it's like I can take the scholarship to Jackson State and feel like I still might win a championship. You know what I'm
shoot.
saying?
Ain't college? Don't you post it? Don't college prepare you for life?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, good they paying them boys now, man. They should
Hey,
be able to. Them boys can get paid now, man. Cause listen, football career is short. Oh no, Chris Caleb. Coaches will. A lot of coaches will be exposed if they can coach or not. There's going to be a lot of coaches going to be exposed this year in the next two to
oh
three
yeah,
years.
oh yeah.
Because now the playing field, you can pay your player and he can come. Oh, it's going to be so madness.
Hey, no, this is the question that I was trying to raise. Now that you can pay your players, should the Fab Five get their championship back? Should Reggie Bush get his Heisman back? Should all the black players that got all they should what's his name? Uh what was it Maurice Claret? Is that the dude from Ohio State that got his stuff took?
Better believe it. Yep, the running back.
Yeah. So should these people get their accolades back now that you can actually pay the players, or are they going to continue to make these players have be blacklisted on these Hall of Fames? I think they should get their stuff back.
Where Shotty Shower said yep and Chris Caleb said yeah. I believe they should get it back for the simple fact schools been playing players. And I think that was just some BS that they did. But the person that can give you the award can take it back from you. But what
Hmm.
you can't take back is what you did on the field.
No, you're right.
So I don't get caught up into that. Reggie Bush was the Heisman. They can say it in their books is voided, but we know who the Heisman player was.
Hmm.
Just you know what I'm saying. Oh man, I ain't never get caught up in all of that when they, you know what I'm saying, how they did. No, you gave them that trophy. You want to take it back for something later that your people, y'all let go on. That's
Hmm.
just like with Dexter Manley. That's probably a little too old for you to play for the Washington Redskins. This guy couldn't read or write. How did he
That's a
make
lot
it
of
through? That's what I'm saying. Colleges ought to be getting sued just for that, man. They be pushing them people through, man. They be pushing them boys through college to get their bottom line, get what they want.
them. Hmm.
And then as soon as you blow your knee out, you do. Because remember, they can say it's a 4 year scholarship, but it's based on year to year.
Oh no. That happened. I think when I was a freshman. I think when they took the 4 year scholarships away and you had to renew the scholarships. That's how I ended up. Oops. That's how I ended up coming back from Texas Southern because I blew my knee out for the second time. I blew it out the first time at Southwestern my junior year. Then I blew it out the second time my freshman year at TSU. So
Right.
that's how we found out that you ain't guaranteed to come back up in here. You tore your ACL. This was an investment that we made. You defaulted on your investment by tearing your ACL. Now you're a defaulted product. We don't need you. We can't use you. We're only a small school. We're gonna need that scholarship back. Good luck to you in your endeavor, sir.
Now you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying them players should have been getting paid. For the simple fact is that.
Hmm.
Anytime you come, you feeling you putting butts in the sand in the stands. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I'm happy they paying them players
I
because
am
then
too.
they can finally have a life. Now you can go get mama a crib, or you can
Hmm.
go buy you a crib or something. You know, to me, them athletes, man, I be so messed up when I used to watch Where Are They Now. You be seeing how they broke,
Yeah.
and that used to blow my mind.
Now, there's a friend of mine who, I'm not gonna say their name. They got kids. They live in another state. They got kids in another state, but they sent their kid off to a prep school, right?
Right.
Kid is pretty good at basketball. So the parent told me, one of my old classmates told me that it's possibility for their kid to be a millionaire before he leave high school because of the NIL.
Go for it.
Why would you not have your kid out here doing everything that you can, because your kid can have a contract before they graduate high school. Your kid can have a contract and be a millionaire walking around in college and pay for their own college, or they should be free because they got a scholarship.
No, no, it's gonna be free. That's part of the deal. I want them to have that
Of course.
million in that school
Of
free.
course, you get this free school. You get a deal for Gatorade, or you get a deal for Nike, or you get a deal for whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's legal now because they've been these people been making money on the backs of these
That,
kids for years.
they just not making them pay their slaves, brother. That's all they doing.
Right.
They gotta pay the slaves, man. That's all
Hmm.
that is now. Cause what you gotta realize, do they do that in baseball? When you in high school, you can get paid. You only tennis, you can get paid. Soccer, you can be
Stock
paid.
golf.
It, it's only where it's predominantly dominated by blacks
Black.
where we come into this thing called a salary cap, and it's a capitalistic country.
Hmm.
This the only thing we know where a running back job can be took out, like whoever the lawyers is, and I know this we on the Chitlin circuit, ain't nobody paying attention. Get the NFL need to fire their lawyers and go get the NBA lawyers. Go get you some new negotiators.
Hmm.
Cause ain't nowhere in the world football career is shorter. Ain't nowhere in the world they supposed to came in with a 3-year contract. Just
Yeah.
think about it. A football year career ain't nothing but 4 years. So why would you put a rookie salary cap on what they can get paid? Your first 3-4 years might be your best years, and their contracts are not guaranteed, man.
Yeah. And you getting your ass whooped every day you put the helmet on.
Listen, football's such a hell of a physical sport. You only can play 17 games, man.
Hmm.
It ain't
And
like basketball.
Most of them don't play all 17.
And that's what I'm trying to say. It ain't like basketball. We can play 82 games plus the playoffs. You might play 100. It's not like baseball where you can play at 162. I don't know what hockey is because I don't watch it. But I'm just saying, if you get my drift, it breaks down.
Hmm.
But when you still working, and don't get me wrong, I understand because I plan on being owning businesses, and I want to understand on both sides. I'm not crazy. I know from the owner side, they got their lawyers working. I'm not mad at them.
Of course.
Shit, it's the players.
They the one
Y'all,
draw up the contracts.
yeah, you dumbasses. Y'all the ones gave up the percentage. Take y'all away from the game. There's no way the players and the owners should not be having 50-50-50. Because if you take the players away, it ain't no game.
And
See,
that
they,
and ain't nobody filling up the stands.
you know what I'm saying? There's no way why how they ain't got this set up. But it just goes to show you when you got people that are not thinkers, when they call them Neanderthals, when they can tell you shut up and play ball, that's why you get played the way you get played.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How many how many times do you need a lawyer? You can't talk to that owner yourself, and man, my stats speak for themselves. You know what I did. Jordan really need an agent, man?
No,
That's
Iverson
just
definitely didn't.
man. How did people like Ray Allen and Juwan Howard didn't go get a lawyer? They went and got a lawyer, didn't go get an agent for their contract could be negotiated. You
Hmm.
gave up whatever that is, but you would go over here have a person like David Falk. I'm not David Falk. I can't even think of my man that super agent. They be going crazy. A motherfucker who ain't laced up his shoe, ran up and down. the motherfucking court, he go in there and tell a motherfucker what you need. You can't, excuse my language. You can't go in there and say, hey, look, because if I'm Jordan, I'd have told Jerry Rines, look, man, I need this 50 million for this 1 year. Don't come telling me nothing. This is what I've been doing. My work speaks for itself. Well, I'll
Mm-hmm.
retire, then let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Yeah.
Chris, I believe Chris says really the union's responsibility. That's why you need to get rid of the union they got. They got the NFL got one of the weakest unions in the game.
Yeah.
I could have went in and negotiated that deal for the NFL if they wanted it, and y'all could have gave me half the pay y'all gave Demario Smith.
Hey, you hear? Is it true that Kaepernick about to get looked at again?
They say the Raiders giving him a look. I mean, he's man. Listen, the NFL got so many scandals on them, man. They probably will let. You know, if they bring Kaepernick back, you know what that's gonna do
What?
to cover up the mess that Deshaun Watson finna bring on him with his allegation. You got to remember he
Oh,
was, just, you know what I'm saying. If the listen, brother, they gonna bring another distraction. That more people they trying to get that distraction off Deshaun Watson and them allegations he had, and they just did the special on him on HBO Real Sports. Had the women talking.
see,
So that because who was we talking about? Is Kaepernick finna get to play?
uh, I mean, he could. He definitely. But he's 32.
Mm-hmm.
So he 32. He could definitely be. I think he can put up better numbers than Derek Carr
I
because you
put it
still
to
got to
you.
take into account for his feet. He still can run.
I believe they bring him back, man. It's just to take the heat off because there's more people that can't stand him. And then it'll be a smart move for the Raiders because people that just come see, they'll fill the stands up,
Yeah,
money wise.
yeah. But it's gonna be a lot of hate mail sent off.
You know how many people will come in just to see Colin Kaepernick get hurt?
Of course, of course.
It's money.
I don't know. They must have had a certain amount of years he had to sit out before he could come back in that hush. In that whatever that was, that deal he made.
Brother Clack. These people don't do shit for nothing. They know Colin Kaepernick can take the distraction of all the bad moves the NFL been doing. Look at you see how they just stopped. What was the damn? What's his name? John Gruden had this. Just didn't the judge just throw his case against the NFL out? Man, the NFL was probably finna have so much mess come out that they like let's bring Colin. He a clean one. He was talking about social injustice. They bring Colin back, and Colin been fighting for the people. Do you know just for 1 year? All the Shield need is him to clean them up for 1 year, and then they're gonna get rid of his ass. Gonna say, look, we gave him a chance. He just don't have it anymore.
I mean, I don't know, man. I still think there's some quarterbacks in the league. Detroit's quarterback being one. You know what I'm saying? Jared Goff is not a good quarterback to me. I believe that Colin Kaepernick could definitely put up Jared Goff numbers. I believe
Nah,
he would. What's the dude in uh I was about to say the dude in Chicago. He ain't. They got the black dude, Justin Fields. No,
yeah, from man, we can break it down. We gonna go with the top quarterbacks out of each division, man. We're gonna start in the NFC. We just gonna show you the balance of power. You got the West Division. You got Seattle. Hold up, let me get to my whistle, man. I'm finna give it to you. Finna go. Give me the NFC division. I'm finna give you the standings right now, right?
okay,
Now in the East, we got the Dallas Cowboys, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, we got the Washington Commanders, and we got the New York Giants.
that's
Who
their
got the
name
best?
now. The Commanders.
Yeah, that's their name now. The Commanders football team. Who got the best quarterback? I mean, out of that division, I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott
Dak
for the
Prescott.
because for the Eagles, you got Jalen Hurd. The Washington Commanders, I don't like. They got their guy. They got, and then the Giants got my man that they looking like
Daniel,
they.
what's his name? Chase Dan, not Chase. What's his name? Daniel Jones.
Yes. So you giving Dak Prescott that division, man. You looking at the NFC South, man. You gotta look at the whole division. You got the South. You got Tampa Bay since Brady coming back. You got the New Orleans Saints with Jameis Winston. You got Atlanta. They looking for a new quarterback, and you got Carolina Panthers.
Who was their quarterback? Paxton Hill. No,
Then they draft one,
don't know.
but you still gonna get at the Tom Brady as the best quarterback, and maybe James Winston falling in number two.
Yeah,
Then you get into the West. You got San Fran. You got Seattle Seahawks. They quarterback gone.
yeah, he
You
in
got
Denver.
you got the Rams, and
That's
then you got
Matt.
Stafford. You got the Arizona Cardinals.
That's old boy. He even fell off. Little bitty dude.
Yeah, and then you got the young boy San Fran finna let start. The young boy that they got, they because they still looking at they finna get rid of Jimmy G. Then we go to the NFC North. You got Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, and Detroit. 9 times out of 10, Green Bay gonna have the best record. Nah, Arizona ain't the best, Chris Caleb. But I'm just saying, Kyler Murray game got exposed last year, man.
Yeah,
He got exposed.
bro. What can you expect a dude that's 5'3", 150, man? He can't see over the line. You know what I'm saying? He just too little, man.
That's what I'm saying. And you looking at now, maybe in that division, I believe, like I say, no. But you know what? I don't know if Green Bay gonna win that division, man. Green Bay got rid of their top wide receiver, man.
Where
Aaron
did he go?
Rodgers. Shit, I forgot where he went to.
You talking about not DeAndre? What's his name?
I can't
Number
think. But
17 or number
yeah,
17?
but he got traded, so he ain't no longer there. So you looking at Minnesota might come in, can sneak and pull that one out because they still got Kirk Cousins. He ain't shit though in my book.
Yeah, I mean he's straightened up. They still got Thielen and they got James. What's his name? Number 18. Dude from LSU. The dude that made the Get Gritty dance.
Jefferson.
Jefferson. Yeah, they still got him.
Cause no, who was the one that no, is that Jefferson they got? Cause who was the one that Cincinnati got?
That's Jamar.
Right. So yeah, they got Jefferson in
Jamar
Minnesota.
Chase.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's
They
Jamar.
got yeah, it's Jefferson in Minnesota. You right.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
dude, that's just the NFC. You got the defending champ. You got to go with Matthew Stafford. You're gonna have Aaron Rodgers. You're gonna have Tom Brady, and then shit, man, and Dak Prescott. We ain't even got to the AFC right, man. When you get to the AFC, man, if you just go to I would say if you, man, look, you got Deshaun Watson in Cleveland, Russell Wilson in Denver.
Uh-huh.
Buffalo quarterback was already rough. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be nice coming back. Kansas City gonna be all right with their quarterback gonna be rough. Then you got the San Diego Chargers got a young quarterback. He gonna be in this second year,
Yeah,
man.
he pretty good too.
It's so stacked in the AFC, brother. They gonna fight it out like hell.
Yeah, he pretty good too. Um, I don't know. I think Detroit gonna make a little bit of noise, man. We might not make playoffs this year, but I know I say we at least going 50, 500.
If they don't go 500, if Detroit don't win 8 games, they better fire their coach.
I think, yeah, I think we need a new quarterback. And them two bums we got on the bench, the backups. I don't know what we could like. Come on, man. Y'all want to get nobody out here with a name? Anybody with some skill behind themselves? You just gonna get somebody that's a quarterback that can throw the ball a little bit?
You know what? I look at it like this: Detroit playing with house money right now, man.
Who house money? What you mean?
They got 2 draft picks, first rounds for next year. They got draft capital. What they do, they got the build up. Next year gonna be a quarterback draft. Me personally, I like the young boy from Ohio State. I like that quarterback. If he coming out because he got the height, he's 6'3". I just need to see, and he was playing with the best wide receivers.
Yeah, so I want to see what he can do. I don't, I don't really mess around with Ohio State too much.
I'm a Michigan fan all the way up and down, but I'm just saying who got. I'm just looking at the quarterbacks that'll be coming out. To me, he was the nicest young quarterback. I didn't see Alabama. Alabama quarterback is a short dude once again,
He is.
so he's short. I don't see him. Like I said, I see my man from Ohio State. He looked decent. I did like Oklahoma quarterback, but man, he a short dude. He at USC now, the freshman. He ain't number 6 foot. I did think I thought Spencer Rattler was gonna be nice, but I'm gonna see what he gonna do since he went. I don't know if he went to Arizona State or Arizona.
I thought he went. So,
He in the Pac-12.
huh?
Yeah, he in the
Okay.
Pac-12. So that's what I'm gonna try to I want to see. But I'm gonna be watching quarterbacks that's coming in college this year because I think me personally, I would what I'm saying. I'm just going by the prototypical Ohio State. Plus, he from the West Coast. He's 6'3". He got a nice arm, and that dude was reading defenses, man. 'Cause he was picking Michigan defense apart. It's just Michigan just jumped on their asses so quick.
Did you see the other quarterback that Jackson State got? The white boy
Who?
from Oregon.
Nope, I ain't paying. Oh, they got one of them.
Man, and he rough. He
Dion
rough.
Dion putting some shit together down there, ain't he?
Dion is not playing, bro. He is rough. Yeah, he won a state championship. He a 3-star recruit. Can't think of his name, but he's coming from the best offense. The best offense in Oregon. He's coming from Oregon, man, to Jackson
No,
State.
yeah, no, or that's what I'm trying to tell you. And you said white boy too. That's just even more gangster than anything. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? He done came down here oh yeah, Dion putting something magical together down
yeah.
there.
I want to say that was him that played in the spring game.
He was doing better than his son.
I didn't watch when he got in. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't sure that was him. But Shador still, he's still gonna start. But he was, he might have been playing against the second defense.
Okay. I want to see what they gonna do, man. Cause I just want to see what they do, what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, man, if they get the talent, but since you went to college and I didn't want to go there, I got to see what my boys gonna do this year. Is Michigan gonna let JJ McCarthy start, or they gonna just Harbaugh gonna be Harbaugh, man, and go with K McNamara?
Well, you know what's gonna happen. But you hear about what is it, the AFL, about Shea Patterson
Oh
getting cut?
man, he was a bum. I don't know why they went and got him and thought he was something when he was at Ole Miss. He was a bum there.
Well, I saw him play 2 games for the AFL. Man, the first game he fumbled like the first 2 3 possessions, and I turned it off. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. He's still Shea.
Man, he a bum. I don't know why people don't want to admit it. He was a bum. Listen, man, that's why people really tripping, like surprised what Michigan did. It really what I say Michigan did have some talent, but I ain't gonna say Michigan talent wasn't right there with Ohio State because Michigan got some boys in the league. Let me be honest. What Michigan was lacking, what Ohio State was at the quarterback, and I say maybe the offensive line. Michigan always had a decent defense, man. Because you can go look at who all in the league from that secondary. Now they linebackers was up. Last year linebackers was weak as hell, man.
And the secondary is kind of suspect too at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had their days, they had their times, but especially they only had really 2 defensive linemen. Man, it was just them two. They ain't had no interior.
Yeah.
They ain't really had
No,
no interior.
no, you right. Because I'm gonna say this. Even with their defense, man, they had Jordan Lewis, but the other side might be weak. Michigan's weakest problems was their safeties, the interior D. That's what Michigan was hurting at. It was their safeties. They had
I
weak
don't really
safeties.
think Hassan Campbell was that good too, man. You know what
You
I'm saying?
don't?
Like, no, I think he was. I think he was the utility back. I don't think he should have been. I don't think he was a. That's what they had to go with. But I don't think he was a good. every down. He wasn't explosive enough for me. You know what I mean? Like he was okay to get that get that
Are,
first down.
are
But
you serious?
I don't just me. I don't think he was just. That's just me. He didn't really.
So you said Michigan offensive line was really doing the job?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I wasn't satisfied with the running back play.
Well, I mean, what you got to explain to me, brother? You was a running back. What didn't excite you about him? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Maybe. All right, so maybe I'm just more expecting more of U of M's football to evolve. You know what I'm saying? I'm more is that whole smash mouth. I'm more like I believe that this is I think that if they had some more players, if they scouted more and got more SEC like players, you know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna just there's more speed in the SEC. That's just a given. You know what I mean? So I believe that if they got more players from the South that had a little bit more speed or another gear, that they would they'd have a more
But
explosive offense. That
but you not to cut you off, you do realize most of their players don't be all coming from the South, them SEC speed players.
no, a
But
lot of them
still,
come from the West Coast.
that's what I was just getting ready to tell you. A lot of them, you go look at them running backs. A lot of them been coming from the West Coast.
Yeah, but
Najee Harris
yeah,
from
we,
Bama.
yeah.
You know,
But if you
I
look at Oregon offense, and if you look at like a BYU offense, or if you look at a USC offense, or if you look at they got speed, they
no,
got
they
they got
do.
they got speed. And if you look at like a Percy Harvin, or like a who came from an SEC school, Percy Harvin, or matter of fact, he was one of my students. I had him in one of my classes. When I was
But
at Virginia.
Percy was from. But when he from Virginia though,
Yeah, he's from Virginia Beach. He went to
okay.
Lansdowne High School. Yeah, they just had a shooting in that school the other day.
Oh wow. No, brother, because I damn, that's sad. No, brother, because man, I'm up on the college players, man. I be watching the players, but I think Michigan got some of
Mm-mm.
that right now. If you watch their recruiting class that they
Ooh.
brought in speed.
My bad. Move. Yeah. My dog wanted to.
Yeah,
No, not the way.
they brought in speed this time, brother. If you go
I hope
look at,
so.
yeah, if you go look at the secondary, they went and got a couple of them West Coast players, man, to
I
fill
hope
out.
so.
You know, but I ain't gonna say they gonna get the if they can duplicate what they did last year. That's why I ain't gonna keep you on too much longer. That's what I'm saying. If they can duplicate what
Okay.
they did last year. Fires with win because right now I believe K McNamara got you 12 games, so I believe he can get you that. You can't lose with that. But if they want to win, they're gonna have to go. If they want to win championships, they're gonna have to go to JJ.
I don't understand why they don't just start the man. I do understand why. I don't want to keep saying that. I do understand why.
Yeah. Damn man, I hated that we got off the gun violence, but
Yeah,
we
but
should. Yeah,
there's only so much you can say about the gun violence and what people are not doing about it. So
yeah, yeah, but they ain't taking it. I don't know. Like I say, brother, I look at it like I do look at it like maybe one. Like if Michigan, I don't know if they don't. I believe that she probably gonna. Cabe is Cabe. Cabe ain't gonna improve them more than what he is.
no,
He gonna get you. He can get you 8 to 9 games.
he just got a specific skill set.
You know what he is? He a game manager.
Yeah,
You know,
that's just
that's all he is. He just a game manager.
yeah. We
It's sad.
I want to see somebody that's going to take over the game.
It's sad though. He a game manager because Harbaugh got some weapons for his wide receivers. He could get the K if he put JJ McCartney up in there, you would get to see Michigan offense open up. But if they keep K McNamara gonna get you what he gonna be a game manager, and they might get
Mhm.
their ass whooped by State again this year.
Man, if that's the case, Harbaugh ain't gonna be there too much longer, man. Because you can't keep losing. You can't, for one, if you ain't beat Ohio State, but was it once? And then
Yeah,
if he ain't beat Michigan State, but once, you know what I mean, like twice.
yeah,
Come on, man.
twice.
You can't be coming around here talking about you about to be coaching in Michigan. You can't beat Michigan State for
And man,
years.
and it was their defense that failed them. That's what would just hurt me, man. It was like
Mm-hmm.
the defense. But I think this defense that he brought, I think Harbaugh, I think since his head not at the NFL no more, I think Harbaugh really gone. And he went younger with his coaches. I believe Harbaugh, he didn't put the foundation together.
I hope so because I don't want to keep on just like the Lions. I can't tune in every weekend for a loss. Somebody got to win. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, listen. They treated us like a fat kid. They gave us some. They
Just
gave
enough.
us that 12. Hey
Yeah,
man, I'm about to end this live, man.
bet.
Yeah,
All right, bro.
yeah. All right.